Welcome to the
Trashy
horny piss box, episode 8.
Episode 8.
Season 1.
Episode 805, actually.
805.
This is a little bit of a... Oh, that's... Okay, that's
not.
full. Gotcha.
Yes, this is full.
The podcast is full of life and joy, not his beer that was rolling
I was
around.
about to spill.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was about to spill it.
Yeah.
Okay. So... The first topic I have that we need to discuss is I just can't handle an autistic son if I ever had one.
Yeah.
And I mean the autistic, like if he was a cool autistic kid where he like wanted to hang out with me and was like if he was
like a functional
autistic and he was like wanting to hang out with me and stuff and like I'll fucking get into model trains if you're into model trains, I don't care. But if he was the type of socially autistic where he just stayed in his room all day,
yeah,
I couldn't talk. I don't know how I would deal with that kid.
Yeah.
I'd be like, for the first bit, I'd probably be like really wanting to talk to him and like, hey, knocking on his door.
It would definitely be a moral dilemma.
Yes.
For sure.
I would have to start making it. Like, if he, I don't know. I'm just thinking of like the 30-year-old who's autistic and still living with you. I am so scared by the fact that I would have him, like when I'm about to die and stuff, still living with me, that unless he's cool. If he's cool, I'm cool with that. If he's like talking to me, actually like verbal, you know, and obviously if he's too autistic to where he can't function in society or talking to me, that'd be different. But if I know he has the ability to, and he's just not...
Back to the functional autistic side of things.
Yes. I would kick him out eventually. I really can. Because if he could, like, do jobs and stuff, but he just doesn't want to...
That would be my worst fear.
Yeah.
Would be to have a child that is just
leeching off you and just, like, not caring about you.
I would
No personal connection to you.
Yeah,
like
just a leech.
Just a leech
on society's ass.
And he's like, he's not a kind leech. He's not a nice leech. Yeah. Like, what child have I
Adam,
raised?
He'll at least suck your dick.
Yes.
First thing at your
Are you comparing Adam to your an autistic child?
No.
Okay, I'm
saying he's a very gay man that stays at our house often. And
yeah.
Obviously pays his way as a leech.
$20 at a time.
Yes. One suck at a time. Mm-hmm. But
anyway.
That is a bit interesting moral dilemma for sure. Because like you could you could have a child that isn't autistic that would you know, have the same issues with, and I've heard.
But they would probably claim that they're autistic. That child.
Or at least try and find a way to act as if
when they're just like socially awkward or something.
Or just an absolute
asshole
pimple on society's ass.
Which hopefully the way in which we raise our children will prevent that from happening.
Yeah. One can hope.
Yeah, one can hope. Because, like, if you raise them right, hopefully they won't be that way, and they'll actually be wanting to do stuff.
Yeah.
And
I honestly, like, whenever I start to have children, I plan on, like, trying to come up with, like, a system in which to implement. More or less, like, so, like, say you're working on something.
Yes.
You almost pay them as if they were employees, so they learn the value of the dollar. They learn the value of what they... Because, I mean... You will be paying them. They will be earning money from you.
I know what you're talking about.
They can take that money and obviously use it in society.
So you're literally promoting them to have healthy hobbies, like working on certain mechanical things.
Say you're working
projects.
Say you're working on K1500, 1997 K1500.
Weird choice, but
no, it's the peak vehicle. There was never a better vehicle.
I agree. I actually agree.
But anyway,
Just take
so
it.
like, say you're working on a vehicle like that, and you're engine swapping it because it has a terrible engine, and you're putting AC in it because it has terrible AC.
It has a
And-
leak. It has a goddamn leak in the
And you're putting in
AC.
You're putting in automatic windows because they suck.
No, manual windows I will die to the grave knowing are
Anyways.
better. So okay, if your vehicle is completely off, you can
Anyways,
still do your manual windows. You can
The
still
point of this
they won't break
scenario
as
is You were
much.
working on this truck because it's super unreliable,
No.
and
You just said it was like the best truck ever.
Yes, I did.
So part of being the best truck ever is that it's
It is-
reliable.
It's okay.
You-
Anyway, so the whole point of this scenario is you're
Motherfucker.
paying your child more or less as an employee, and I think that will help them in the future because they will more or less learn the value of the dollar, which I've already, iterated. And obviously, I feel like that is important society-wise because then once they learn, why are you looking at me like that?
It's an interesting view.
Oh yeah, but
You should get yours and view me through it.
no, I don't think the viewers have context.
I will give them context. There's a shot glass that acts like not a microscope but a telescope. And it's very cool to look through.
But you understand my point, right? Like paying,
Yes, I
more or less
agree.
paying them as an employee so they learn the value of the dollar. That
Very
is-
very cheaply, might I add.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay
But
them
still,
a cent.
yeah. But no joke,
An
that will
hour.
because a cent is a lot to them. They'll be like, "Ah, thank you so much!
Well,
Oh my
no,
God, that's physical
probably,
labor
Probably
for
more than
money."
a cent because
Inflation.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I would say I would probably do like a dollar an hour.
Would probably be
Yeah,
fair.
and they would go insane. They would go sicko mode.
Yeah.
Your child will literally go find a wild rabbit and murder that rabbit and go sicko mode
You're like,
over
how
that
much money
rabbit.
can I
Yeah,
get for this?
yeah.
And you would tell them $2.
Yeah. And that is like a good physical. Honestly, no joke. If you scaled it up when you have an autistic child or a child that is literally just a leech on society, not being nice to you at all or just being an asshole, you could probably do it to them too. Literally wake them up one day, make them do like the most manual labor thing possible for a few hours, and then be like, okay, you worked 3 hours on this manual labor job, here's your month's rent or something.
Yeah.
And
Make
then
them work for their rent.
and then make them be like, oh wow, I did this thing that I hated, but I got something out of it.
Yeah.
And them being like, oh, that makes sense. Okay.
That's just a transaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
And make them understand that if they actually did something in their worthless little lives, that they'll actually get something
No.
for it.
Kyle, that sounds suspicious.
I don't know. I mean, I really have no one that I can relate that to. I'm just very worried for the future if I.
Well,
ever-
yeah, that is every parent's more or less
No.
nightmare.
In this generation, yes. I do not think that was that way 3 generations ago.
That they were worried about that?
That they would have a kid that would sit on the computer all day and be a leech on society.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying autism, like having a child that is incapable of taking care of themselves. I think
That's
that is
different.
As a parent, I think that's a very real.
You can have an
or less
autistic child
than-
that cannot take care of themselves physically.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a child who cannot take care of themselves mentally and will just be a leech on society
Yeah.
and won't like.
Well, you're saying they can, but they choose not to.
Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
am saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause the way you said it, it sounded like they mentally couldn't take care of themselves physically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I knew what you were trying to say there.
Okay. So yes, I also
They-
agree that there are kids
They
that
can
are
take care of
mentally.
themselves, but choose not to.
I agree that there are kids that mentally cannot take care of themselves because they can't control their physical like part enough. But the kids who are capable of doing it, you probably have seen them do it for
Yeah.
at least a week, but they just choose not to because they're lazy little bastards.
Little bitches.
This is really a Republican part of like the podcast. Yeah, people
Well, no,
should
I
do
would say it's
things.
Republican. I
Right?
feel like it's
Well, in
common
this day
sense.
and age. Nah, not for some people. if they are
You're
capable
saying
of doing things,
liberalism supports
supporting
not doing
people,
shit?
supporting some people. I'm not saying all liberalism. I am a moderate leaning left, so I do
Yeah.
support a lot of left leaning things. But I do agree that the left, some of the left's programs support people
Yeah.
who cannot or who should be able to handle themselves even if they can't.
Yeah.
But I also think it's, and this is the liberal part of me, I do think it supports a lot of people who need it.
Yeah.
A lot of homeless people, as we were talking about on a different podcast.
It is important to support the people who can't take care of themselves, but I feel like there is a large amount of people that take advantage of the system, in my opinion.
And
Not that there shouldn't be systems that support those people, but I feel like there should be a way in order to differentiate between people who take advantage and people who simply require it.
And I agree, but I do, at least at this point, think that we should still sadly support those people who don't truly need it in order to mass support the people who do need it.
And I would agree with that, but I would also take, if we were going to do that, I would say that we also should encourage a more Republican mindset on how we manage the government. Because at this point, we're just wasting money on stuff. I feel like we should find a way in order to...
What about the military? What's your opinion on... Well, a lot of people say that we spend too much money on the military. What do you think about that?
The point I'm focusing on currently will answer this question.
Okay.
So I think we should find a way for the programs that we are currently using right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we should find a way to support them in a way that will produce money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying.
more or less
I know what you're
As a
saying.
business, like
Perspective.
we should come at everything from a business perspective. Because if we are earning money from the ventures that we are working on,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll have that extra money to pay for people who, need that extra funding that can't take care of themselves or choose not to.
And I know what you're saying, but this is where you and me, from my purely...
Because I don't understand how we're going to come up with that money, is my whole idea.
Okay.
That money doesn't just come from anywhere. And eventually, I feel like that will hold back our civilization as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
How are we gonna pay for stuff? Pay for stuff.
Are you talking about the whole world?
I'm talking about the United States as a nation.
Oh, as a
we're
nation,
like
that's
3
different.
trillion or so in debt.
Come out with more ideas that support budget in a way that has more exporting money coming in.
You can only come up with so much.
Ideas for that?
Ideas for that. Because
this is not part of a liberal agenda or anything.
Yeah.
I generally... Wasn't there a thing where, like, Bill Clinton was close to, like, improving our debt? Like, wasn't he at least had a budget where there was debt being paid off, I'm pretty sure?
I mean,
I
honestly,
think that was a
have no
thing.
clue. But we need to find a way to solve our debt. Because,
100%. But
I think
the whole world has a debt.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about.
Yeah.
Like, you would think that we would be in a society where every nation was paid off unless they were, like, a failing nation.
Yeah. But, I mean...
It's almost like the whole world is in a capitalist society, and there are just some countries in that capitalist society that choose to be communist.
Yeah.
That's honestly what it feels like.
Yeah. I mean...
It's like because in capitalism, if a company doesn't succeed, it fails, and it gets into debt. And it feels like countries are in that same system where if they're not succeeding, they're failing and going into debt. But all countries are failing and going into debt. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, well, like, if you think about it on an individual basis, everybody has, well, not everybody, a large portion of people have credit card debt.
Yes.
It's a very small amount.
In a capitalist society.
Comparatively, countries, have debt. But I think the U.S. has an exorbitant amount of debt.
Yes.
Like, comparatively, like, say the
China?
United States was a person. we have a shitload of debt.
I think
And it
so.
continues to grow.
But I don't know if we compare it to like China or something.
I wonder what China's honestly what China's debt statistics would be.
This is why we're not an educational podcast.
Yeah.
Because if we had someone to look this stuff up, we'd be doing
Like
good.
if we were on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie.
Yo, Jamie, hook me up, bro.
Jamie, pull it up. Have you ever seen that video? Yeah.
Yo, Jamie, whip out a picture of my cock
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
viewers. They need to see.
No, not that one. It was cold out at the time. Not that one.
That's only an inch long.
I was in the water. I was
God damn it, Jamie. What the fuck, dude?
Jamie, I'm gonna fuck you with my 1-inch Peter if you don't fucking pull up the 3-inch Peter.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Yeah.
That's me not hard, I swear.
Yeah.
Viewers.
Alright. I'm going to get
Down and dirty. Down and dirty.
drink.
We gotta. Let's take a moment and support our local beer, Coors Banquet, which is brewed with 100% Rocky Mountain water, specifically since 1873.
It isn't local. Hams
It
is
could-
more local than fucking Coors.
Well, please recycle, okay? It's beer. It's 12 ounces, 355 milliliters for our European viewers, which will probably never happen. But yes, there's a government warning on it. It's that good. According to the Surgeon General. I'm joking.
Consumers will know that the Attorney General will suck your dick if you drink this beer.
But only if.
What if they actually got an Attorney General to sign a document that said that?
That will suck your dick.
And then printed it on all the cans, and the Attorney General has to
But
go
you had to
around to
claim
all
it.
the people. Yeah, you had to claim
to
it.
see it and claim it.
Well, even if 5 people claim it, like I'm saying, if the Bush or the Coors executives,
Yeah. Yeah.
Coors Banquet executives,
You gotta that kind of segues into another thought. But continue
Alright.
what you were saying.
if they went out to an Attorney General and was like, "Hey, we have an advertisement thing, and can you be in it?" and he just signed it, not even looking, and he was just like, and he actually had to suck all those dicks.
Yeah.
Could you do that? No, you can't do that. 'Cause that's sex. That's literally sex slavery. That is literally, that's against the law. That is sex slavery. I just realized.
Unless he agreed to
No,
it.
but unless he agrees to it in the moment,
Well, I guess it would be technically prostitution.
prostitution.
So it would have to be based out of the state of Nevada. Because
Nevada.
Nevada is legalized prostitution. So basically, everybody should vibe.
It would be funny if like there was a sitcom where there's a bunch of like evil henchmen and villains, and they had to do everything, but they had to do it within the law. And so they were like literally doing things like this just as like but it has to be within the law. Like there could be a villain who like kidnaps politicians and makes them have gay sex, and then that's his
somehow within the law.
No, yeah, and I'm saying if he did it illegally, it'd be easy. Okay, just bring a gay man.
Yeah.
But like, there's this sitcom where we have to do it within the law, and then they have like a little slogan like,
This is legal.
"Bazonka zoinks, he did suck that coca zoink," and it's like I don't know, it's just a little
Yo.
sitcom catchphrase.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the Zonkas. That's pretty good.
Hell yeah, that's a pretty good catchphrase.
Go ahead and read off who wrote this.
George. So I was actually on Twitter this week. I love Twitter.
Yeah.
I definitely have an account on Twitter, and I love it.
Now that
I
I have to pay $8.
Yeah. To get verified, because as
verified,
a listener to this, as the many listeners to the podcast know, we're pretty popular.
Yeah.
But so I was on Twitter,
We should create a Twitter.
and my good boy, George W. Bush said, and he George, my good buddy George W. Bush likes to post in the gaming section of Twitter. He's a big gamer, and he put, "I miss killing Iraqs with a little little sad, uncomfortable emoji. And
You don't know where this came from.
Came from Twitter, probably.
Well, yes, obviously, but then there's a guy named Tony Blair, which is also verified. He said same, to be honest. Now this is all springing from people being able. So there's people that are verified on Twitter that are able to change their name to anybody. So there was a bunch of people that changed their name to Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
That also posted. So according this is a post by Elon Musk. Obviously not Elon Musk, just somebody posing as him.
It was actually Elon Musk. It was just a setup to say he wasn't.
It was 100%. It says, even though Jeffrey Epstein committed horrible crimes, I do still miss him on nights like this for his warmth and camaraderie. Rest in peace, old man. Now this is all springing from the fact that basically once you are verified on Twitter, there is kind of a flaw, and obviously Elon Musk is working on it, but this is a flaw where you can change your name to literally anything and be verified. Now these accounts that have made these posts are currently banned already. But I think it's just funny as fuck because this was the first post. I don't really know who it was posted by, but it was on a news source. The second one that I read off was made by Lou Later, which is I guess some kind of news website. It was extremely funny though. It was funny as fuck, and I had to bring it to the podcast because I thought it was amazing. But apparently, Elon Musk is trying to do multitude of different things with the platform, and everybody's getting mad at him for ruining comedy more or less, which I feel like that's kind of like a dickhead move because you can't allow shit like that. You can't allow people taking over somebody's identity.
No, I agree. I think that he is actually the master of comedy, and that's why he was able to get Twitter to allow
him to say that.
To allow
him to say that.
No, not that, but to say on the Tesla account, Tesla breaking a second Tesla has hit the World Trade Center. I think he's at the peak of comedy at that point. Once you have a Tesla account saying that a second Tesla has hit the World Trade Center, I think that he's at the peak. I don't agree with the people who think that he doesn't have a sense of humor, because if he allows that kind of shit on Twitter, I mean, that is actually comedy. That is hilarious. No,
but being more serious. Would you put people impersonating other people's accounts on the same level with identity theft? You know what I'm saying? Like, say
no.
You wouldn't?
If it's taking their money, no.
No. What do you mean taking their money?
Or if it's not taking their money, then no.
But it's taking and abusing their following.
To a bunch of idiots.
So, say somebody is acting as Elon Musk. They have more or less access to all of the social media that's going to see his tweet and be like, oh, this is a newsworthy opportunity. Elon Musk has just posted that he hates black people for some odd reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put this all over. Would that not be on par with identity theft? Because obviously they're defaming him.
Yes, but it's not nearly the intention that actually stealing that money or identifying as him and taking that money. Like going to a bank and pretending you're Elon Musk to get that much money.
Well, identity theft can literally be just you taking somebody's identity to get a job. That's what happened with me. I got my identity stolen, and they used it to go get a job in California.
To apply for a job.
Yeah, to apply for a job, and they did have that job for like over a year, because I was a minor at that point.
And this was a human being.
Yes. Because the IRS allowed them to claim my identity.
Oh, so they claimed you as a child.
They were Gage, not Meyer.
They went to their job and said hello.
Here is Gage Notmeyer's social security number. I am Gage Notmeyer. Yes.
Was this a Mexican or like another
This was
fucking
a guy
immigrant?
From, what is the island off the coast of Florida?
The Caribbean?
Costa Rica?
Coast?
I believe it's coast.
No.
No.
I think that's a coast.
Cuba. Bruh,
Cuba.
I'm retarded.
This was a guy from Cuba.
Yes, a guy from Cuba. Pretending to be me.
Dude, I was always on your side with that because I thought it was someone like taking your identity to be like, goddamn, taking your credit cards. I'm on the Cuban guy's side. That's sick as fuck.
That he stole my identity. And
He was working as
was
you?
able to claim my taxes.
Was working as you.
You think that's alright?
Dude, if
You have a
someone
very-
went to somebody's work pretending to be...
You have a very,
That would be hilarious.
very unrealistic idea of reality.
They're stealing identities to work under?
Yeah, and they
That
can
is
claim your
hilarious.
taxes. You know your tax return?
That
They can
is
claim your- they can claim your
hilarious.
money.
So I'm guessing your parents got a flag or something that was like,
No,
hey, you
weird
can't
did.
claim him. Weirded?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my god, he's on some Chad shit. We've talked about closer places. Damn. That makes no sense, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I guess most places just are like, oh, we'll just pay you under the table. I would think that that's what a lot of places would do. Not claim children's identity to work. That is hilarious.
Identity.
I love that. They are on some
So you're on his
Chad
side.
shit with that. I'm not on his
said
side.
you
I
were,
just think
though.
it's hilarious and it's on some Chad shit.
But you did say you were on his side.
I don't know. I'm not on his side, but I think he's on some Chad shit. Like, if I had my way, he wouldn't have taken your identity. But
So
the fact that he took a minor's identity to work under,
got
that's
in
some
this
Chad
country
shit.
illegally and then stole my identity.
That's some Chad
And that's
shit.
Chad.
A child's identity to work under, that's some Chad shit. I don't know who you are.
That
I don't
shows-
care who you are.
That just
That's some
that
Chad
shows
shit.
how fucked society is. That they're allowing my identity to be.
That they
stolen.
won't allow these Cuban people who obviously want to get away from Cuba and work in this country to fucking be able to.
There's the thing called a visa.
I think Cuba is almost 100% blocked from that.
I don't-
Cuba was
I
a
don't
big
know that for a
enemy.
fact.
I don't know either. I don't know that for a fact. But
I'm
U.S.
pretty sure any
US
country has the ability to achieve a
the
visa in the
the
United States.
USA no the USA
For a bit, I believe certain countries were restricted, but I don't think
Like
that's a fact anymore.
I think Japan was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think no, but my opinion on immigration is I think that they should be allowed
There needs to be
a better way in.
there needs to
The
be a
program
restriction.
right now is
My whole
horrible.
idea behind immigration is I feel like we should allow immigrants, but why are I mean, you know, America number one, but
Yes.
we are allowing the best of the immigrants from another country into our country. You realize that, right? So
I do,
So
but
we are
it's too
decreasing-
limiting.
no, but I'm saying we are decreasing this insert country here's ability to function as a country. If we're allowing the best of their engineers, the best of their doctors, the best of, you know, whatever into our country.
But we're
No.
not allowing the best of their peasants into our society. What's
Well,
up with
no,
that?
that's not what I was.
But that is the truth.
How? I mean, obviously we're not allowing their peasants in, but that's not even close to the point I'm making. Do you not realize what I'm saying?
I realize what you're saying.
You're-
We're letting
you're
the
going off
best
on a
of their.
random tangent.
No, I am not.
Yes, you
You're
are.
letting the best of their like high professions
Why?
into the
Why
country.
are we allowing the best of their
High
people?
professions.
Yeah.
Not their best people, because there are good people in the peasantry as well.
Yeah. No,
Just because they're
I wasn't
lower
saying
class.
it wasn't.
Well, no, because we're not letting those people in.
Yeah, but you're strawmanning me.
How am I strawmanning you?
You're saying I'm arguing something that I'm not.
No, I am saying that you saying that their
I'm
best
saying
people
the
are being
best-
let in when it's not the truth
They're allowing the best of each profession.
Of the
That's what I was saying.
not of each profession.
I mean, not every single person, yeah, but what are you trying to get
I'm
at?
saying not every profession the best of. They don't care about the laborer works the best people in
I
that
wasn't
profession.
I wasn't even getting at that at all.
Well,
I
I'm
was
getting at
saying-
that. I'm saying you're just saying the high professions.
Yeah. And that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
that's different than professions.
God, I think you're going off on a tangent that I wasn't really
I'm-
trying to get at.
Yeah, I'm trying to get at this, and that's why I'm saying they're not best people are being let in. They're
But
best people of the
my-
high
My
professions.
argument was that we are allowing say the rocket scientists, the doctors, the stuff like that, stuff that are, like the more intellectual professions, we are
Yeah.
taking those from the country.
And who cares
and
if they're
preventing-
Nazis?
And preventing their ability. Now you're definitely going off on a random tangent.
No, Germany, we literally let the
Anyway.
high professions in like that,
Yeah.
and we let some Nazis in.
Again, you're going off on a random.
That's not a random tangent. That is
That is fact, but
that
you're
is
going off on
talking
random
about a
tangent.
problem with your thing of letting the best of the high professions in. They do not actually care about the personality, the actual morals of the people they're letting in of the high professions. They just care about that they're the high professions that can help them, like they did with the Nazis and rocket ships in Germany.
Yeah,
It was-
but that wasn't at all what I was talking about.
But
I mean, it was talking about definitely. A
you're
similar
saying a
situation.
reason why to let immigrants in, and I am saying a counter to
I'm not
why that
saying
strategy
that's
does
the
not work.
Idea. I'm not saying that at all.
You're saying
I'm saying this is why that's happening. I'm saying this is happening. I'm not saying this is the best idea or this is the greatest idea.
you're just saying this is what's happening.
This is what's happening.
I thought you were saying earlier that this is an argument for what's happening.
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Then
You're misconstruing what I'm saying.
okay.
I'm simply saying that we are allowing back to what I was trying
Okay.
to say the whole time. We are allowing the best in, and that's preventing their society from functioning as a normal society.
Okay. And
Because their society is lacking the best, doctors, rocket scientists, more or less individuals.
I'm
So why are we allowing them into our society? Shouldn't we prevent them? Because that would allow their society to get better, to get to a reasonable state.
you saying from a moral
Comparatively.
perspective?
Yeah,
Yeah.
comparatively, it would allow them to recover from any situation they were in potentially.
She's saying like on United Nations levels, we should not be allowing.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it would fix their situation, but I'm saying by taking them away, we're definitely not helping.
Okay. I want to say something now.
Yeah.
I am drunk. I'm a little bit high.
Yes.
So I now understand what you're saying.
Yes.
And while I go off on a tangent. I had an argument with the fact that you
Yeah.
said best people.
But,
I should have let you
yeah.
finish because that is not. You were making a different point than what I thought you were making. But to be fair, all I'm saying
I'm
is
not saying you're wrong.
I had
I'm
an
just saying-
objection to your thing of best.
Yeah.
I had an objection to what you were saying of best, but I agree with you. I'm sorry. I should have let you finish.
No,
Because
you're
if you would have finished, we could have had a conversation about what you said
Yes.
and not about what I said. So, in that way, I do apologize.
No, you're good. That's what I was trying to say. I figured you probably didn't understand what I was trying to get at, more or
Yes,
less.
I did not.
But
my argument I still wanted to say about
yeah.
that, but yeah, I did not
If you want to
know.
continue with that,
I am pretty much done with it.
yeah.
Yes. But
Would you
I
like-
want to go talk about what you said because that is something I would like to talk about as well,
Yeah.
and I should have let you finish. So okay. That is because when you were saying that, I realized that is actually an interesting moral dilemma.
Yeah.
Because we want our own country to succeed, but if we want the
Yeah.
world to succeed,
As a whole, we are taking the best of their society because the best of their society is going to be able to get through our programs easily, without question, and be able to make it into our society and continue in the United States.
and I guess that because some people morally think that making ourselves better will help us morally out later, because then we can help other people out.
Yeah.
That's the same way. So we're stealing the best people from all these countries, but we're making the United States of America better so that we can then help those countries out later.
Maybe.
Which is
Yeah.
an argument, but it's like, well, then why didn't you leave their best people with them in the
Yeah.
first place?
If you would've maybe left their people with them, they could have produced a better society for themselves as a whole.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. It's a dilemma for sure.
You thought of that? Yeah. That's a really interesting dilemma.
Yeah. Actually, well, I didn't fully think of that. Me and my parents talked about it for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it is something to think about. It's like immigration, is, it's not a bad thing. You do want people to get away from hard situations, but if we're taking the people that could solve those situations away from their own country,
Actually.
we're making the situation worse.
But then, so when you hear that, you think like, oh, we should probably let all the bad people in immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, get them out of their country into the United States, but then that
It's
will
like-
hurt the United States.
Yeah, I don't know, it's
And
almost
also,
like-
it probably
Yeah.
won't help the country you're taking them from either, because they still have contacts in that country, and they can still
well,
make it
it's just
worse.
it's really kind of an odd situation because the best people in a country can only do so much.
Mhm.
If it's like a war-torn country, they're obviously not going to be able to do
But
a lot.
yeah,
But I mean, like with Tesla, they're hiring a shitload of engineers from. Guess which country? I will let you guess because you'll probably never guess.
Switzerland.
No,
Oh.
India.
Oh, that was my first guess, but then you said you'll never guess, so I went Switzerland. India has a lot of good engineers. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think they are considered a third world country, if I'm not mistaken.
It's weird, dude. Like, I've heard some things that make me think they're like a dictatorship, but then other things that make me think, oh, they're just like a...
They're like a weird, like, they're not...
They're like a developed third world
Honestly,
country.
I would consider them like a China competitor.
Actually.
Honestly. Because China, like, has a shit ton of manufacturing.
But they also have a
they're
shitload...
becoming a first world country, but...
They also have a lot of countryside and a lot of like peasants that live in that countryside.
It's like, so it's almost like a third and first world country all in one.
But
it's kind of interesting.
But the side they show is the first world, so
Yeah,
everyone considers them a first world.
Yes, because they are more or less not a true. I think India is considered a democracy. Actually,
It is, but it has like dictatorship qualities. Like it will turn off the country's internet in a certain day. It's weird.
That is interesting. Yeah.
I heard that, and that made me think dictatorship.
I think
like,
in the
I was
future,
like, what?
Because I don't know. Tesla is actually considering putting a car factory in India, but the reason they haven't put a car factory in India is because they have a huge, I think there's a large amount of taxes related to producing vehicles in the country. Maybe I'm off on this. There's something related to electric vehicles. I think they have a large EV tax. Amount of taxes on EVs or something. There's something preventing it from happening, but they have a shitload of engineers that are working on visas for Tesla. That at least that I've read about, which is crazy because you think they'd come from truly first world countries, but I think it's because the Indian people have a very you go to school, you get a good job, you get a good grades. More literally exactly like fucking China, which I think India is a underground version of China, and I don't think a lot of people realize that India is going to be a future China, because I think China is going to be held back by their democracy.
Yeah.
Or they're not democracy. They're communist ideals. They're dictatorship.
But you know what's interesting is over the years they've transitioned into modern world.
Yeah.
they've actually developed a capitalist communist society,
Which is
because
they have a mixed society because
they-
that's how you can succeed.
a communist society will not succeed forever.
Yeah, no.
Example: Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's how it.
But
yeah.
when they add capitalist elements into it, yeah.
Well,
it's
literally,
starting to
if you
succeed.
go to like, I believe Shanghai is extremely capitalist society, and China allows that because it grows their overall country. So they've been allowing it for years, but they're trying to backtrack and bring down the amount of capitalism in their society, and it's like ruining their society slowly but surely. It's just it's interesting to think about.
I will be back.
Oh hell yeah!
You talk gibberish until I get back.
Is that a plan or is that a problem?
Start talking gibberish.
No.
Whatever you're thinking, whatever you want to talk about.
So Kyle has decided that he's gonna become gay, and I've been trying to convince him otherwise, but it's really I really hate it, but I think he's gonna do it. I whether I like it or not, and it's terrible because Coors Light banquet alcohol has supported his idea, and they are also supporting it 100% with brewed mountain water, Rocky Mountain water. And honestly, it's really just interesting because yeah, that's just how it works. Back to some actual educational information. A study by Jordan Peterson on Sky News that I watched a few days ago with Piers Morgan stated that 3% of people online are responsible for the majority of negative ideas and trolling. And it was also stated that a portion of these people carry psychopathic traits, which is kind of crazy because that shows that a large portion of the information in the internet sphere is more or less like controlled by psychopathic people. Not necessarily like murder, like psychopathic like people in the way that movies portray them and like TV shows, but like more or less the type of people, like, because there are psychopathic people in our society that don't carry murderous or like dangerous traits. They just carry it as a narcissistic like idea.
Speak of the devil, Kyle's back.
We were just talking about how around 3% of the population, around 3% of people online are responsible for a majority of the negative ideals that are perpetrated online.
Wait, you said...
So basically, 3% of... It was a study that Jordan Peterson stated on Skynet, which is the news organization that broadcast this.
I did not know about Skynet.
Yeah. Or it's not Skynet, it's Sky something. I stated it as Skynet. It's Sky News, not Skynet. Sky News. Skynet is from Terminator.
Mm.
You know that?
Yes, I do know Skynet.
It's kind of interesting that Sky News. We can if you want to watch Terminator after this.
Alright, so what's...
But,
it doesn't matter.
3% of the people online are responsible for majority of the negative ideas that are like perpetrated online, which is kind of interesting because if 3% of the overall population of people online are the cause of like negative ideas and trolling and shit like that, it shows you how easily it would be to remove those people like from the public sphere. What I think is back to Twitter, back to what Elon Musk is trying to do. If you only have to remove 3% of people
from the overall conversation, you could make a more like peaceful, more easily like easy conversation, I guess.
But is that free speech?
I mean, I think free speech is having a conversation without the extra bullshit, and that 3% of people produce the bullshit that I am talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
You don't think 3%? It was a study that was done
So what are you asking me?
over a large amount
do I
of
think
people.
about the 3%?
Those-
3%
I'm
definitely
saying
develop.
those 3% produce majority of the negative, like the negative conversation.
And that makes sense to me.
And all I was saying is that majority of that could easily be removed
And
from
would
conversation.
that still be free speech?
I think it would be free speech because it would allow conversations between people that are actually trying to have a conversation. If you're just trying to spew bullshit and spew like hate speech and all this other random bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
I think by removing that 3%, it will allow a meaningful conversation to happen.
But if it's not the purest form of free speech, that's not what I'm trying to say. Is that's not the purest form of free speech?
And I would get that.
You would agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And
It's-
with Twitter, that would be an option. You could have fucking the gates of hell option. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know what you're
you
saying.
could have those people and everybody else in one
Mhm.
conversation.
Mhm.
But you could also have a dial which switches it one ring up from that and just has, you know, the people that are
those 3% perhaps.
yeah, like that. Well, you could have like the maybe the 2% that aren't actual dickheads, but still are like assholes about
Mhm.
their ideas.
But
you
is
know?
is that truly free speech?
That's what I'm saying. That option will be allowed on the
I
Twitter
understand.
platform.
I understand.
And honestly, I don't know if that would be. I think that would be considered free speech at that point, because when do you differentiate between gibberish and actually putting out your opinion?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is exactly my point. Where do you differentiate that? Where does the government differentiate that? If
I don't
they
think-
put it at the wrong point,
Yeah.
that eliminates some of that free speech immediately. I'm like, that is not okay.
I think Twitter for a while has been making like things that they don't agree with. They were considering them to be
unpopular
to be
opinions
bullshit.
And not like them as much,
Yeah.
not retweet them as
and
much.
yeah, and holding them back from being popular, which I
Yes.
feel like is should not happen. I feel like even if an idea isn't popular or an idea may not even be true, I think it should still be at least put out there in the same way that another idea that is true should be put out there. And people should have the ability to analyze it and figure it out whether or not it's true for themselves. Because people aren't stupid. They take the time to understand what they're being presented, at least most of the time. If you don't, then you deserve everything that's coming to you, you know. You should be able to take the time to understand the information that's being stated. Like, oh, Kyle is gay. That's true. That's 100% true.
Like I was texted today, the thing that I thought was snow outside was actually someone's semen frozen.
Yeah.
And that information I took into my body, and I thought to myself,
Yeah, that's 100%.
I could eat the semen. That semen is protein, and so I did. And so that's why the phenomenon known as melting is actually me gobbling.
Kyle's just gobbling
snow.
Snow. But I think it really is.
It's actually semen. You know what I'm saying?
It really is an interesting conversation to have. Whether where we draw the line, and I honestly, personal perspective, I don't feel like the government should obviously draw the line. I think we as people should come up with a line.
Mm-hmm.
But
the line between what? My dick or my balls? Oh! Whoa!
The line between
wacko
between retarded bullshit and actual information.
Mm-hmm. is retardo bizardo. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think this is a good segue into Kyle vibing while I go take a piss.
Okay. So now I'm the one vibing, and for a change, that's pretty nice. Because let's be honest, guys, when Gage really vibes out of control, he starts going crazy. He starts excrementing fluids, solids. What? He said I was told to vibe by my producers. So basically, he starts excrementing. I'm sorry, guys, for saying producing. Producing is a more peasantry term. Excrementing is a more, let's say, work-life sensitive term. Excrementing is, fluid, it's solids, it's gases, it's plasmas, and I'm just gonna throw one out there. It's also azerks. And that's a little fifth one for y'all, you potheads out there. And so basically, you put those all together, that's what he excrements out of his body on a daily basis. And if you come from Cuba, you'll get this joke. He excrements a gurgurgurt. And that's all, folks.
100%. I agree.
So
Whatever he said, I agree.
He
100%.
What's so funny?
You want to hear a joke?
I would love to hear a joke.
All right. So there are two guys.
Mm-hmm.
One says, "You the bomb."
No, you the bomb, girl.
The other says, "No, you the bomb."
Wait, for real?
Yes.
Okay.
In the U.S., that isn't unheard of. But in the Middle East, that's an argument.
That's an argument?
An argument.
Argument.
Like, no, you the bomb.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah. But it's like, if like a dad, when he gets upset at his kid.
Who is the bomber?
Yeah.
You get that?
Do I get that? Yes, I get that. Anyway,
this is retarded.
It is retarded, but I like this. But no, like I was like imagining a dad in the Middle East being like, "Are you a bomber? Are you a bomber?" And the kid's like, "No, Dad, I'm not a bomber, dude.
I'm not gonna kill people.
Dad, I'm not gonna kill people. It's ironic."
Dad, that's so racist.
Dad, I ironically tase my friends and put them into a grave, tying them and manhandling them. Dad, it's ironic.
It's not.
It's not real. It's in my dreams, Dad.
Even though I do it.
Even though I do it while I'm sleepwalking. You know I don't mean that, Dad. And Dad's like, Son, I'm scared. Son, I'm scared that you're becoming a homosexual. And Son's like,
just out of nowhere.
Dad, I don't suck dick. I kill people with bombs.
And then suck their dick.
Then I suck their dick. Dad, it's dead people. It's not alive people. And Dad's like, oh my gosh, son. I never thought about it that way.
I need to report you.
Oh my gosh.
To a fucking agency somewhere.
Oh no, he
maybe
says
MI6.
No, he says this. Oh my gosh, son. I didn't think about the fact that dead people aren't real people. Son, I'm so sorry.
Right.
I was worried you were homosexual. Gives him a handshake, vibes with him, and says, son, you go out there and you bomb a lot of people.
You commit war crimes.
And hey, son, and he winks at him. And if you want to fuck those bodies, you go right damn head.
You just do it. I believe in you.
And his wife comes and she's like, did you have that
Did you have a
word?
good day at school, honey?
No. She's talking to her husband. She walks back in and she's like, honey, did you have that talk with Torokani? and he's like, you know what, honey, I did. And you know what?
I told him. I showed him who's boss. I beat that motherfucker senseless.
And then after that, I gave him a hug and I sent him on his bomb marrying way.
And I lost my phone.
And then Gage lost his phone. And then he got it. He got this fucking phone.
And then I got it. And then I came up with another idea.
And his idea that he magically came up with was...
we should use lights. like light show drones. You ever seen those light the
I
light show
have.
drones?
They were sick as fuck.
We should use them to fuck with uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, or like on random like islands in the Pacific.
Not
You know-
not the North Centennial Island though. Those are my boys.
Oh yeah, those are your homies.
Those are my
But
homies.
I think we should fuck with them. Like show them with like some like just random like naked chicks, but with like the drones. I feel like that would really fuck with them.
With the
like,
laser
so-
show,
Yes,
That would
that's
be
what I'm
sick.
saying. Like just random like
they would 100% think that's an act of God.
Yeah, 100%.
They would be
That's what I'm saying.
God showed us these images.
Dude,
We want to
look at them
masturbate the
titties,
fuck
bro.
out of them
That shit
titties.
look good.
And the women are
Let's
just
vibe.
like, all right, we might as well masturbate to those titties
We
too.
must vibe.
Yeah. If the men are doing it, we
And they
might
would
as
ruin
well.
their society because all
Or
women become lesbians,
Mhm.
and then it would just
it promotes incelism and rapism in their society.
Whoa.
And then the women who are ignoring them because they see they're gay now, they just rape them and still have children.
Yo.
Which is realistically what would happen if all the women became lesbians. Like legit, like hardcore
That
lesbians.
definitely probably would happen.
Because they're gonna be like, well, our tribe needs to,
Because there are no
have
laws.
kids.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no legal.
and the men
laws.
would slowly get more upset, and eventually resort to raping the women.
Which would be pretty fucked up, but it would be.
It would also be how animals work
Yeah.
when they need to
Yeah,
produce.
natural law.
Yeah.
In order, which would be pretty fucked up, but.
No, it would be fucked up, and in our today's society, it would be very fucked up.
Yeah.
But to them, they get.
You took this on a very different tangent.
I mean, hey,
but
which was same would happen to us if we were put in this situation.
yeah.
But if
Yeah.
if men in a society got put into that specific, like, I mean, and I'm not saying today's society where there's just some women who are lesbians. I'm saying if a society randomly went
100%.
all lesbians,
Yeah.
yes, the men would 100% rape them and I mean that would be the adult, that would be the human thing to do. An animal thing to do is yes, rape them eventually once they can't control
I
themselves.
feel like society would just
Adapt to women
Well, I
being
know, I feel like
lesbians.
society would shut down to the point where moral
A lot of
standards
people
and
would die.
ideas would not happen.
Exactly.
Yes, a lot of people would die.
And men would
Yeah.
end up raping the
And
women,
apo-
and
it
then
would be an
society will
apocalypse.
continue.
It would be an apocalypse.
And then the society will continue on.
Yes.
And then eventually get to a point where maybe it would happen again. Who knows? And maybe that's a weird thing with
Who knows?
society.
Maybe that's already happened. Honestly.
Well, a different society, yeah.
Yes.
And we're about to get there.
Yeah.
And as an incel, that thought warms me. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Did you know that soldier crabs can be used to store data?
I did not, but that makes sense. I'm guessing with their nerves.
Like, no, more or less you could use them as like logic gates.
Okay. What's the logic gate?
And so like logic gates are more or less like encoding
Hmm.
like how certain situations are controlled. Like if Kyle's gay, turn right.
Oh.
That's a logic gate.
And so it's like a million of those.
Yes. And you can run Doom on
Oh,
crabs. Yes. On soldier crabs.
and have they done that?
Yes, they have.
I feel
So
bad for
you can
those
run Doom
crabs.
on just over 16 billion soldier crabs.
That's a lot of soldier crabs.
It's a lot, but you can do it. And I think it's worth it to run Doom.
Okay.
You know, do you ever see the fucking
Doom is a fun ass game, by
They
the way.
ran Doom on
On a pregnancy
on
test.
a pregnancy test.
Yes,
Yes,
I've seen.
that's insane. And I think that just shows how peak level Doom is as a video game.
Yes. We should actually record us playing Doom and upload it. I think that would be a grand idea.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll
Do you
do
have
the
Doom?
prequel.
Do you have Doom?
I have Doom on Steam.
I don't have Doom. We should play Doom. And
Okay.
use it as our
Backdrop.
backdrop. Yeah.
That would be fun. But at the same time, I also
Need for
I,
Speed.
I do want to do that, but I also want to record audio over it
Yeah. No.
and
I think
us
we
post
should-
that separately.
Well, we could do highlights.
We
if
can
you
do
wanted
keep
to.
that would be fun, yeah.
The only thing is it takes a lot of time.
And Gage will be willing to edit that 100%. No, I will learn how to do it, and we'll
No.
probably alternate.
Yeah. Well, here's what we can do. We can figure out more or less the major points in which we.
I mean, you can do your episodes, and I would not care if you just went fuck all and was like, yeah, that's a highlight. This hour and a half section of the podcast, the video game, that's a whole highlight.
I'll tell you about this morning.
Yeah.
This is a highlight.
They killed Hitler in the Doom, even though that's not Wolfenstein. That's a highlight right there.
Highlight.
Yeah.
Bonus content.
Which we could do that later and do mods of Doom, which there are a fuck ton.
What kind of mods are there?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is like the hentai mods with Doom, and no joke, they exist.
We need to do that.
That would be sick. Okay, maybe.
Blur it out though.
But maybe we just do texture mods for our first run, so everyone will be very confused. Yeah.
I feel like that'd be solid content.
I have legit played the sequel and the prequel.
It's really not that hard.
Yeah, and we can literally go one off on Let's Plays.
You have Microsoft.
I have it. I don't know how to
So-
use it.
You
have to
I'll
show
give you
me.
the cover image and the pixel editor.
Hmm.
I will teach you, so we'll have a true 50-50.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
If that sounds good.
That sounds good to me. Let me look up something.
Honestly, we're doing fucking amazing. The last episode got like 800 impressions,
800?
which is half of our best.
We did
video.
not get 800.
100%. We got 800 impressions.
We did not.
We did.
But then less people viewed it, didn't they?
Less people did view it, but we got 800 impressions.
Mhm.
That's insane.
No way!
What?
Wolfenstein 3D came before Doom, so we're going to play Wolfenstein 3D first.
I think I might have played that on my Kindle Fire.
Wolfenstein 3D?
I played some.
It's the Nazi version of Doom, basically.
Okay, I played something else.
Okay. There's legit Nazi symbols.
There
in this game.
is some kind of weird like 3D situation game,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I played it on my Kindle.
Is it like turn-based?
Like basically, you select the situations. There's like 3 or 4 situations per turn. Like you select the conversational point.
Mm.
You click that point. The guy says it, and that affects your situation.
Huh?
You ever play that? They also do that with Walking Dead.
That's like a turn-based click and point, I think it's called.
I don't honestly know.
But how far are you with that?
Almost done.
You want to move in the kitchen and do some shots? Maybe?
We could do vibes. Yeah, we could do drugs. I mean vibes.
Vibes. I'm down. All right.
Anyway, for a while it's like you ever played the Walking Dead situational game?
Oh, Telltale.
Yes, I believe that's
Yes, that's it.
There was a Wolfenstein Telltale version. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%, but I definitely played it. Let me look it up because Wolfenstein.
Well, there's newer Wolfenstein games, if that's what you're talking about. And they're actually pretty damn creative and cool.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing, bro?
I'm trying to get your attention off the pod, but you obviously
trying to smack the.
says something. Hey,
It's not Wolfenstein, but it's something like Wolfenstein.
a Wolf Among Us you're thinking of.
Maybe.
It is.
Let me look it up.
Hey, watch this.
Yo, why are you jerking off the UV blue?
Oh my gosh, the cap's unscrewing.
Among Us.
Oh!
Me when I play
Oh.
Among Us Coochie.
I just jerked off the UV blue to erect.
You are right.
Erecting
It
quality.
is Wolf Among Us. I don't know why I thought of Wolf Among Us versus Wolfenstein.
It sounds similar.
I guess
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have played that though. Doing drugs on the podcast.
yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
Do me a small one, because I'm pretty fucked up.
Okay.
Dumbs half the
I did not.
Babadoo, babadoo, babadoo.
Alright,
I don't want
let's
to
do
get copyrighted for vibing. Well, technically, can we get copyrighted if we just don't, like, if we don't post the episode? Or, not, like, if we don't post the episode, but if we don't, claim the episode for monetization? Can we just post whatever we want? Is that a possibility?
Yes, but they might still eventually run ads on it, just not for us. For themselves. It used to not be a thing.
That's pretty gay.
Because you can literally post a educational emergency video, like if someone about saving your fucking friend or family, and they will still put ads on it.
Me watching YouTube to learn CPR to save my family.
Literally, if your family's dying and they need CPR, you could look it up on YouTube, and they have non monetization on it. The people who make them.
Yeah.
But then YouTube still adds ads to it. And so you'll be like...
Me watching 2 ads just to learn how to save my family member.
Exactly. That's how it is.
That's pretty fucked up.
It is pretty fucked up. Because I think that if you turn non-monetization on, they should turn it off for themselves as well.
Yeah.
But if you're not making any money off it, and the person who actually owns it, who like copy strikes you for it, doesn't make any money off it, like they don't ever contact you, they're gonna take that money.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we're taking it because it's not your identity or it's offensive, and then we'll literally, but we can't give it to anyone because there's no charity organizations or actually person who owns it organizations that we can give it to, and then they take it into their own.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% agree. Alright, you ready for this shot?
Yes, I'm ready for this shot.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna puke. I didn't know it.
Don't! Drink it then!
Get that love, bitch. Alcoholism. For that YouTube vibe.
That YouTube vibe. Did you do a shot of water or agua right away?
The beer helps wash it down.
Shut up.
Do a shot of cum? God,
Yes.
You're right. Viewers, if we do a shot of cum, it should save me from throwing up.
We're doing a true man's shot. Oh yeah.
That's some like 169 proof shit.
That's a manly shit right there. Me and Gage just took the biggest damn manliest shot of our lives.
I think I'm so drunk off that water, bro.
I think I'm so drunk off that agua, I might just beat my kids tonight.
Can we take a moment to thank Ben Ebner and Adam Pewter and Evan Jensen for all being the gayest men we know.
Hell, let's get a round of applause.
Round of applause.
Round of goddamn applause.
We really hope that you guys will listen into this this far and realize.
And also Stephen Pewter, who is upcoming.
He's an up and coming porn star that we really support.
And I really like him. My name is Kyle Pewter, I really support the porn star activity of Stephen Pewter.
He's really a star in his industry, and I just would really like to take a moment and thank him for
doing that for our society.
For ruining my childhood.
For ruining my childhood, but then making our society a livable thing.
Yeah, because I honestly don't. I think I would have killed myself.
I honestly,
without him.
Honestly, if I didn't know
Blue Raspberry Stephen Pewter was a thing, I would kill myself.
I would have to. I'm gonna be honest. It wouldn't be a choice, guys. It would just happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's time for another beer. You want one? Shit, we drank
I would love one.
You want a ham or a Coors?
Ham. I gotta get rid of it.
Alright, I'm gonna take a Coors and put one down where you should say.
No. Guys, sorry if this isn't the most optimal podcast material, but guess what?
I'd come up with some more content.
Your parents personally called us and said, you're not podcast material. So we're going to end this episode right here. Okay, guys.
Thank you for being amazing patrons.
Queers.
Eventually, we'll have a Patreon, and you will love it.
You're a fucking
We will post
queer.
our nudes on there.
You're a fucking... I'll post my balls. No
I will
joke.
literally
I will
post
my
mine too.
balls.
That's an agreement.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
post also my
Thank you.
sweaty gym socks. See
Yes.
you guys later.